QANX has been look good during the drop, but I think people have to be kind of realistic about Bitcoin. You know, unfortunately, even though we have a really strong QANX sentiment, QANX community, lots of expectation, lots of anticipation for the future, nothing is immune from unsettled markets or the reality of unsettled markets. Nothing is immune. So you know, while everything was dumping, this is the weekly chart, QANX didn't really dump. It kind of just went down 11%, which was respectable. It came up, now it's kind of coming down. Because again, it's corrective. The whole thing's corrective. We're not kind of in that moment where this is going to the moon or crypto is going to the moon. I think the trouble that I have, and I've talked about this before, the trouble that I have is that if Bitcoin continues to show weakness, then you're going to have really strong community to hold this price up. Really strong. You have people not selling and buying more, not selling and buying more. That's really what needs to happen. Yeah. Not selling and buying more, not panic, fear, selling, being scared and buying more. Typically in this kind of context, people aren't looking to buy the pumps because they see that crypto is down in the dumps. So they're looking for the lows. And so right now we're kind of forming some kind of higher low situation. And sentiment is really bullish on QANX. But I mean, in a worst case nuke scenario where Bitcoin does nuke down in the future, whether it's next month or the month after April or May, and we don't see an alt season, really that's unfortunate, because you kind of want to see an alt season. I don't know if, like, I think with something like with QANX or Quan platform, when the mainnet launches, then you're going to probably get some liquidity flow into the ecosystem. So it may kind of slightly detach itself from Bitcoin. And it has in the past, in certain occasions, it has been detached from Bitcoin, hasn't it? And the rest of crypto, because you've just got a really healthy project here, which has a lot of potential, a lot of good partnerships, a lot of investments. And Jonas did an AMA. I watched it yesterday. He's a real geek, isn't he? He's like a Vitalik 2.0. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I mean, most of what he said went over my head, to be honest with you. But that being said, it was good to watch. It was good that he's willing to answer questions, this guy here. Oh, Johan, sorry, not Jonas, Johan. Very technical questions. I think a lot of people are, I don't know if afraid is the right word, but a lot of people are kind of worried a little bit that the mainnet will be delayed again. So I was just chatting to someone on Discord who was saying that that's the biggest concern, because it has happened in the past. So right now people are accumulating. It's all speculative accumulation, but you know what will happen with the token? Will you be able to stake it, use it like ETH, validate? You know, there's lots of questions which haven't been answered, and so it's still quite speculative. But the idea of a quantum resistant blockchain is not speculative, is it? It's actually, it's a real world use case. It's a real world use case which will have in the future, will have growing demand. And so ultimately with a token like QANX, it's a long hold really, and that's what we're experiencing here is like a long accumulation situation, huh? But I don't want to scare anyone. In this range, if Bitcoin nukes down to who knows what, you'll never. And what you have to be aware of is that, you know, a lot of tokens have come back down to their Trump pump start to their original range, the consolidation range from March through to November, to the lows. They've got Solana, Ethereum, etc. A lot of tokens have just dumped. Quant platforms, QANX has shown a lot of resilience in that context, because partly because of the quantum news that's been coming out, so that's kind of helped. Partly because of the mainnet anticipation, that helped. So there are these other kind of factors which are helping to retain the price here. So I'm really bullish on this. And actually, kind of interestingly enough, I did an anchored VWAP from the launch, and you can see we're above the anchored VWAP. I think that's quite healthy for the price to be above the anchored VWAP. But I am just worried and prepared that if Bitcoin does nuke, that you'll get a breakdown. You know, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or I'm just contemplating the future, you know, for an impulsive move type thing. For kind of, it doesn't necessarily have to happen in one day, but this is the weekly time. I mean, I am thinking like that in my mind. I am thinking like that. Because honestly, if Bitcoin is nuking, it probably means the whole of the world equities are nuking. Nothing is going to withstand that drop. Nothing. It's just hard to imagine anything to withstand it. The only way I think we can withstand that kind of crazy drop is if you've got some kind of like millionaires who've got capital on the sideline. As soon as that nuke happens, they market buy. And we've seen that, you know, I've seen that on other tokens in the past, where when the market drops, someone just comes into Quant platform and they just market buys, and then they don't give a shit. They see the rest of the crypto where everything is dropping, and they market buy. And that can always happen. Or a big player, they just come and buy a shit ton of this token. That is actually the right time to do that kind of behavior, because then when everything drops and it settles and it whatever bottoms, because that's when it bottoms, when it drops, and then, you know, you get your pullback, and then the rest, and then you start, then everything pumps, and then this now then pumps. And so there are kind of scenarios where this doesn't have to go down in that circumstance, but that's a very unique circumstance which would require kind of extremely wealthy individuals to do that. And oftentimes, most of the time when that happens, it's manipulated by market makers more than not. So I am kind of like considering that if we do get a really bearish BTC nuke, then we actually, the buy opportunity is probably down here at the value area low. Probably that's the buy opportunity. And I can't predict that. I can't tell you it's going to happen. I don't know. No idea. People will sell. That's when you buy. That would be like a back test of from this kind of bridge hack low. It'd be like a 382. I'm not predicting this, yeah. I'm just saying that I'm just contemplating Bitcoin dropping and no fancy millionaire market buying. Whatever. Yeah. That's kind of that's really the buy opportunity of a lifetime, I think, on something like this. Now it could obviously go lower. I'm not saying it can't, but in the context of a range bound price action, which we've been in for a significant period of time, you want to kind of buy at the lows. Yeah, you buy, you're looking for the opportunity to buy is at the value area low. Now that's kind of when you're going to get the really kind of heavy volume. That's when you bottom out, and then that's probably when you go to the moon. Short of, like I said, a multi-millionaire waiting for Bitcoin to crash. And as soon as Bitcoin starts crashing, market buy. Don't give a shit. The breakout when Bitcoin crashes is really bullish. Because then the rest of the market will be like, oh my god, that one's going up. They'll pile on. Because everything is going red, and then you see this one coin that's going green, up 50%, up 100%, up 150%. And the rest of the market sees that. And they're like, the greed takes over, and then you get this FOMO, and then you get people just piling in. And then that's when you get these kind of crazy God candles. And then when Bitcoin does finally hit rock bottom, you get continuation, because then the whole market comes up, and then just Bitcoin brings the rest of the market up, but you're already going up. That's the only kind of situation I think could work in the context outside of the mainnet. The mainnet can attract a lot of liquidity. I don't know. I think in the context of crypto being down in the dumps, I think the mainnet is probably going to be a sell the news event. But you know, anything can happen. And so we're just going to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. Triangles break either way, yeah? So there's no one knows what's going to happen here, to be honest with you. I can't tell you. I think if we do break down, then we've got some really nice buy area here. And obviously if we do break up, like I said before, we just want to flip this area into support. It's really pretty straightforward. Otherwise, we're in a kind of higher time frame accumulation range. And it would be nice to just, for crypto to not capitulate, Bitcoin to not, and just find strength, and for us to just go up. But the problem is you still come back down there, and people do take profit. We kind of need a sustained crypto sentiment. We need crypto sentiment to return back to extreme bullish. So we are at fear now, so that's quite interesting. So we're at fear, and I think most people who have positioned in QANX, they're still in profit. It's really amazing that we're at fear 25, fear 26, I think it was it 26? We agreed. So 21, oh shit. 25, 21, look at that. So we're coming to fear low, fear. And look, like, we're above the point of control on QANX. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Above the anchored VWAP. Like, I'm just thinking, honestly, I'm just thinking I should sell everything and just put it all in to QANX. Fuck the world. Fuck everything. Fuck crypto. It'll be a gamble going all in on one project, but I think a lot of people are thinking the same as me. I think so. Because we have quite a lot of anticipation for what is about to happen in the future, and we know this quantum narrative is not going to end. It's only the beginning, and it's just non-stop quantum this, quantum news, quantum. So we haven't really seen a markup here. I am expecting 5 big waves. Maybe that was the first wave. Maybe this is just a flat correction for another big wave. I am expecting actually on a token like this. Why not? It would make sense. No, it's going to take a bit of time to play out. So I've got no real insights here, except that we're at fear 21 and QANX is above the point of control, above the anchored VWAP. Everyone is looking at their QANX portfolio and going, oh, it's still okay, huh? I'm still okay. So I am actually just in my mind, I'm just thinking as a long play, This is probably the safest one. Probably the safest one. Let me have a look at